Good morning, Facebook. Hello, hello. Monday, June 21st. I think it's the first day of summer today. First day of summer, June 21st. It's early in the morning. It's actually 7 o'clock. It's not that early. I've been up early, so it's not that early. Let's do a sound check here. Make sure I'm on. Yep, I am on. So, good morning, everybody. Nobody's on yet, so... But if you're watching this live, or when you do watch us on the replay, drop a comment, hashtag replay. It's 7 a.m. Monday morning, June 21st, the first day of summer. Okay, we got some people on now. Good morning, everybody tuning in. Good morning, good morning. I'm going to talk about proper etiquette about asking a table for a tip. Because they say that's not, they say you never ask the guests for the tip. So I'm going to talk about that. My feelings and thoughts and philosophy and my actions on that. So good morning. Hi, Karen. Hi, Heather. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day yesterday. I sure did. I was able to spend time with Courtney. We went to Basher Kill Winery. Hung out over there. Basher Kill Winery is open again. They were not open last year, but they are open. This was opening weekend for them. So that was exciting. I got to spend some time there. Came back. The restaurant was really busy. I worked in the kitchen for just a little bit. Then had a nice bottle of Prosecco to end the night off. So hope everybody else had a fantastic Father's Day. The weather today is going to be, I think, upper 80s again. I was at the car wash first thing this morning at 6 a.m. with the smoker. Jamie and I are catering today. We're catering today, and we're catering Friday off premises. It's like every day we're catering, which is awesome. It's really, really awesome. We're doing a lot of catering at Airbnbs, and today we're catering a company in Walden or Newburgh. Jamie knows exactly where it is, but we're taking the smoker with us. And I have it hooked up to the car right now, so I went to wash the smoker this morning, make it nice and shiny and sparkly, even though it's like matte black, but at least it's clean. Inside's nice and clean. Everything's clean in it, so that's awesome. So yesterday, we had a young lady that came in to eat, and the first thing she does when she comes in is she asks for the executive chef here today. And of course, my wait staff goes, yes, Marcus is here. She's like, oh, okay. So then literally, she is asking all these questions and trying to come up with some dishes on her own, not that aren't on our menu. The garden is packed. The garden's mobbed. We're busy. And she keeps Alex, one of our team members, she keeps her over at the table for literally, no joke, 7 minutes, while other tables need, people need water, people need things, and she literally goes on for 7 minutes asking such in-depth questions. Like, I don't understand why you can't make me a caprese salad. Don't you have fresh mozzarella? Well, no, we have burrata. Would you like it with that? We don't really have, we can do these and these tomatoes. And then, no, I don't want that. I just don't know why you can't do it. It says the pizza says mozzarella. Well, that's shredded mozzarella. So she literally goes on through all these different options. And Alex comes to me and Alex goes, you need to go talk to this lady. I can't spend more time at this table because other guests are losing out on service. And these are like, she's really getting technical and in-depth questions. So I go to the table. Turns out she's a culinary student. she's a first-year Culinary Institute of America student. Hey, she's just getting ready to start. So this is why she's all gung-ho and asking all these questions and getting really super in-depth. She just quit her PhD, too, from Yale to go to culinary school. I don't know how long she has in her PhD, but she quit Yale and is going to culinary school. So she gets really in-depth with me, and I'm able to answer her questions, but I'm the right person to ask these questions to because the staff needs to get to other tables, so she's not monopolizing. So we ended up getting her, I got her, a couple of things. We did a couple extra things for her that we didn't even charge her for. But she ended up eating. She loved everything. But then she left and she didn't tip. And staff was like, after all that, this person doesn't tip. And I said, well, is she still here? And they're like, no, she left. Because I have no problem going to a table and ask them why they didn't tip. I know it's frowned upon in the industry, but I have had no problem for years asking people, was everything okay? I noticed you didn't leave gratuity. I wanted to make sure everything was okay, and I have no problem asking people for gratuity. And if they say, oh, everything's fine, I'm like, well, you didn't tip. You didn't leave gratuity. And people are like, I'm like, the staff works hard, and that's how they get paid. I have no problem going to bat for my staff, my team members, and asking where the gratuities. Now, very, very rarely it doesn't happen. We had somebody in here literally just 2 months ago, and they were in last year, and I said, and I said, was everything okay last time you were in last year? She was like, yeah, everything was great. We enjoyed ourselves, and because nobody left a gratuity, and maybe it was just an oversight on the table. She goes, my son didn't leave a tip, and I said, no, there was no tip last year, and I just want to make sure everything was okay. It's kind of, and she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. A lot of times people just overlook when you're with a party, and they don't realize it. But this one monopolized our time. We did extra things for it, didn't charge her for it, didn't leave a tip. But I would have had no problem going to her and saying, I hope everything was okay because there's no gratuity. That's always my lead-in. But then I have no problem explaining to them, the staff works for tips. They work for gratuity. That's how they get paid. And some people, it's just a culture thing because they're from Canada or they're from England, they're from Europe, where tips are included. So sometimes, by asking this question, they don't realize that tips not included. So I've been able to get lots of tips over the years by just asking questions like that. I have no problem asking questions like that. Our staff works hard, and they deserve, and if something's not like insanely wrong with your table, you leave a tip. That's just what happens. That's part of going out to eat is leaving a tip. In Europe, it's included. No matter how the service is, you're leaving the tip. It's already included. It's already figured out. You have no choice. So that's my philosophy on that. I don't know if everybody agrees with me, but I know my staff works hard, and I work hard too. And our staff deserves to get paid. So don't go out if you're not going to tip. It's a basic thing. And some people are just notoriously terrible tippers, like terrible tippers, notoriously. And we actually had to put a sign out when we were in the height of COVID for wait staff, our staff, because when you're doing takeouts, you don't need to leave it the full 20% or 15%, but something's better than nothing, 10%, something's better than nothing. And believe it or not, those servers in all the restaurants are still working for tips even when they do takeouts. And at the situation we're at now is if my staff is packing your order, greeting you, taking your money, they're taking away from service from another table. So we understand we're not serving you and you're sitting down full service, but something is better than nothing. So we actually had to put a sign out. And most people do tip when they get takeout, but sometimes it's a little frustrating. The wait staff still gets paid the same. The restaurant industry is such a tight margin industry that if restaurants were to pay our servers, our wait staff, full minimum wage, we couldn't afford. It's just impossible. And besides, minimum wage isn't enough for a lot of these servers to make much more than minimum wage. But if we paid the minimum wage, that's like another $5 an hour times all the wait staff in our restaurant and all the other restaurants couldn't afford it. They would go out of business. Their labor would be way too high. So even to think, and I can always tell when I work with restaurant owners, I can always tell that the ones that don't have experience, that go to open a restaurant, always think that they're going to pay their wait staff, full minimum wage, and that they're going to get tips as well. And I'm like, it's not just how the industry. You take tip credit, you pay them the $8 an hour, and they're like, well, no, I want to pay them fair. I'm like, it's either you paying them fair and not being in business in a year from now because your labor will be through the roof, and this is what a lot of people that are just entering the restaurant business think. That is their impression. Well, I need to pay my staff fair. Train your staff. Train, hire the right people, and they will make plenty of money, much more, and you're not paying for it all. The guests, it's coming out of tips, and unfortunately, it's the service industry, and that's what it is, and that's the standard for the industry. So, but it's you can always tell when they have first-time restaurant owners because they think, I'm going to pay all my staff minimum wage, so it's $5 extra an hour that you're paying them. So, and some restaurants don't even pay minimum wage. Some restaurants actually illegally pay them cash for way less than minimum wage. This happens in a lot of ethnic restaurants. This happens a lot constantly. It's crazy. Even restaurants, even regular old restaurants like mine, I see it happening in restaurants like that when the staff, I don't understand, because the staff will say, okay, and they'll work for $40 for a 12-hour shift cash, and then they'll take their tips, and that's not legal. I even know parents that are like, oh yeah, my son or daughter works at this, which is a nice restaurant. My son or daughter works at this restaurant here, a restaurant there, and yeah, they don't pay them an hourly wage. They just take tips. Totally illegal. Totally illegal. Not allowed. And here's the thing: the labor board is so strict on this stuff, but you have to be reported though. If it's not reported, it goes unnoticed. But if you call the labor board on a restaurant, they'll go in and investigate, and they'll figure out if you haven't paid these people properly in the last 2 years. They'll put in where you have to go back and do all this back pay. If you're not paying proper overtime, things like that, they put in, you have to pay all this back pay. And it can really bite a restaurant in the butt, really bite them in the butt. They think they're being cheap and saving money, and then all you need is one person to make a phone call. One parent's pissed off because they find out that you're illegally paying their kid or not paying their kid. And it takes one phone call, and they will come in, the labor authority, and they will fine you and figure out what you owe the employees, and start that process of you paying that back. I've seen it happen to restaurants. That's how that works. So it's not worth it to do that. So if you have kids, if any of you have kids or know anybody that's working in the restaurant industry, they should be making $8, and don't quote me because Jamie does the payroll here, but it's over $8 an hour as a server, as a bus person, as a server. If you're working for tips, it's $8 an hour, $8.25, 35, whatever it is, $8.75. That is the legal minimum wage for wait staff here in New York State. Other states like Jersey, I think, are still like $2, $2.50 an hour. Tennessee, things like that. Some of them are way low. Some states, Seattle, Seattle's not a state, Seattle's a city, but some areas across the country, Maine tried it, where they removed the tip credit, where restaurants had to pay their staff minimum wage, and they still got tips. This happens in Washington. It happened in Maine. And a system like that would force every restaurant price to be increased. That's just the reality of that. I mean, right now with food, with the way food is, oh my gosh. We had just bought duck wings this week, because duck wings are a third of the price of chicken wings. And I said, let me try duck wings. I have a source for organic duck wings. Let's try duck wings and see what happens. So they'll be a special on our menu. We just smoked them yesterday. There will be a special on the menu, and we'll try them out and see what happens. And maybe from time to time, we'll get some duck wings in and see. Chicken wings literally went from $1.81 a pound to $4.50 a pound within a matter of 3 months. So a lot of restaurants are crying the blues right now on chicken wings. So that's why some restaurants even put market price on their wings, because to keep raising the price and printing menus is insane and crazy. So we have held the price on our chicken wings, have really held the price on our chicken wings. We're just not doing the buy one, get one anymore on Mondays, because that's just not possible. But we've held our price. All right, folks, that is it. I have to get a little bit of office work done. Then Jamie and I are off catering. I washed the smoker this morning. The smoker stuck up to the car. We can take the smoker anywhere. It's on a trailer, the smoker. It is a smoker trailer. So we can come up and set up at your place with a smoker and cook away and do an amazing catering job. We haven't pulled a smoker at all last year because we didn't do any catering last year. So this is the first time it's out for the year, the smoker, out on the road today. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we had a great Father's Day and a great weekend. And we have a wine dinner tonight, which is something else I'm working on. 4 wines and a dish, $29. I have to figure out what the dish is because I'll be gone most of the day, so I have to get that done this morning before I leave. And Karen's asking, what's the wines and dish tonight? Karen, I will get that published here pretty soon. I just have to round everything up, make sure I have the proper quantities of the wines, and do some summertime wines. So that is it, folks. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.